Do you find yourself searching through your fabric stash for the perfect coordinates? Do you strive to be more confident in your color combinations? If you answered yes or just love fabric, then a subscription to Goody's Color Club is for you. Goody's Bundle Club is a quarterly subscription program with carefully curated fabric bundles by me sent right to your doorstep. I handpick every fabric in each delivery with 12 half-yard pieces, which will only be available to Goody's Bundle Club members. In addition to an exclusive Stash Builder bundle, each delivery includes a booklet of information on the fabrics I have chosen, the fabric designer, additional fabric suggestions to use with a bundle, and quilt patterns that would be a perfect pairing with the fabric. Hi, my name is Goodner from GA Designs. Welcome to our live show, Tipsy Tuesday. Hi everybody, welcome to our live show. It's Tipsy Tuesday. Yay, everybody. Thank you for being here. Whether you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel by hitting that red little square on the bottom. And if you're on Facebook, like our page and make sure you are signed up for those notifications so that you get notified whenever we go live. Lots of stuff to tell you today, and we of course appreciate it if you give us some thumbs up and hearts and comment and interact with us throughout the show. And there's a benefit for you, of course. Stick around throughout the whole show because we have a giveaway question at the end, which you can answer and automatically be entered into our giveaway. So thank you all, thank you all. It is Pi Day today. Pi Day, happy Pi Day.
What's that mean?
Pi, 3.14. March 14th, that's Pi.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, you were hoping for some pie.
I thought it was a...
Say hi to Mr. HP, he's here, everybody. The producer.
Free pie.
No pie for you, honey. No pie today, but it is Pie Day. Maybe we need to go find some good pie. Do you like pie? Do you like pie?
You know,
It's not my favorite. It's not. It's a very American thing.
A good sweet potato
pie. You know what? My favorite, though, probably a really good apple pie with some caramel sauce, hot, warm, on a fall day.
You're missing one thing.
Ice cream.
You can't have hot pie without ice cream.
Yes, ice cream. I agree. As long as the ice cream melts, then I'll eat it. And it's really good. But enough about Pie Day. It's also us a full show for you. We've got a lot of updates to update all of our viewers. And it's going to be on Color Club, on Bundle Club, on our retreat, on our cruise and whatnot. And then, of course, every Tuesday I give you a great tip of the day. And I got some fabric to talk about as well. So let's start off with our giveaway from last show. Last Tuesday, I asked you a giveaway question, and the question was, what is the biggest surprise you've ever received in the mail? And randomly selected out of all of your answers was our winner of the day, Nancy Kozak. Congratulations, Nancy. $25 gift card is yours. All you got to do is send us an email to help@gequiltdesigns.com, and we will get you that email out that gift card out once we get the email. But you'll get the gift card via email too. And so you can go shopping. So thank you all. Congratulations, Nancy. Her answer was, I got 2 chairs and a table for my front porch for my daughters. That's a huge thing to get in the mail.
Awesome, daughters.
Wow, that's an awesome surprise.
That's great.
Probably one of the surprises was the size of the package. I'm sure that you got in the mail. I love that. Love that. Congrats. All right. Lots to talk about today. And if you follow our shows on a regular basis, you know that we always have a Friday show. And last Friday, we had a couple of our great girls step in for us. We were on a little bit of a getaway.
Where'd we go?
So everybody, did you watch Nancy? No, not Nancy. Nancy was on a getaway too. Kara and Colleen took over Friday's show. Did you watch? They did such a good job. They were funny. We did catch it too. We watched it too. It was fun. So good job. Good job. So yes, we got a little bit of a getaway, a long weekend away. It was really beautiful, even though it was part fun and part work. But we always have fun together.
Where'd we go?
Well, we'll talk about it later.
Oh.
We're going to talk about it. Yeah. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Can't quite reveal it yet. But we had a blast, as always, when we do stuff together. We just have so much fun. Lots of laughs.
Lots of
good food. Some cocktails. But just lots of smiles and fun. We loved it.
Everybody says Kara and Colleen was great.
Yeah, they did great, didn't they? Yes. They
awesome.
did a great job on Friday. Yes, thank you. They are
and the producer
very talented,
did great
very
too.
funny. And the producer, Andrea, did her job.
Yes.
Very well. All right, so let's start with some updates for everybody. We are now only less than 2 weeks away from our first retreat session, about almost 2 weeks away from our second retreat session. It's coming. And so everybody that are participating in our retreats should be getting their boxes, have gotten them already, or it should be real close. And so just a reminder, we like to keep it all a secret so everybody can get the surprise of opening their boxes. And that means no posting photos anywhere of the contents or what we will be doing, since in the box you will get kind of the itinerary or what we're going to be doing, where we're going to be cruising virtually too. And so make sure you're staying quiet. But you can still tell people how excited you are and how beautiful the stuff is. That's all, right? Now, all of you retreaters, you will get your first digital delivery this coming Friday. So this coming Friday, you will get an email in your inbox, but also you can check your account on gequiltdesigns.com. And in there will be a video with me unboxing your retreat box, kind of talking about the contents, explaining our whole process to those that are new to our virtual retreats. And then also you will have cutting instructions for all the fabric in the box. So we'll have a first cutting video. I'll take you through it all and how to break it down. So that's coming up Friday, something to look forward to on Friday. And also in that same delivery, digital delivery, will be all of your Zoom links for the actual live days. So check that out Friday, something to look forward to, something to put on your calendar, fun new stuff.
So exciting.
Building up to it. Yeah, it's been a lot of build up, but we're happy to answer any last minute questions. If you have any concerns, comments, let us know. So Deb is asking, will you be having any in-person retreats soon, not counting the cruise? Nothing on the calendar for retreats. Just kind of still bummed about losing our venue, which has been torn down, unfortunately, that we used to have. But you never know. You never know what the future holds. And a lot of folks that got their box already. And Lori is asking, is it still possible to order backing fabric? Yes. So you can either email us, email Colleen, or email the help at quiltsense.com, and they will help you out. I think most of it has been listed, what we have left on the website in 3 hours, so you can check that out as well. So yes, Debbie, even the second session, you will all receive all of the videos at the same time, the cutting video and the unboxing. There's only a few days between the retreats, so we decided let's just release it all at the same time. So makes it easier. So then nobody has to like be quiet for a few days or something like that. All right, any more questions you're seeing? Some of you I see that didn't sign up this year but are making sure to do next year. Yes, so for everybody that did not participate, we will be showing you what was in those retreat boxes. I don't want to do it until after our first retreat, so we will be showing you some little hints on things. So
I say we have a live retreat at Paisley Park.
Oh, ooh, well, I don't think they would allow us to bring all that fabric and all the dust and the machines in.
Yeah, we'll just go dust that place up.
Dust it up. It's a museum. I don't know. I doubt it. That would be kind of cool. We'd have to improve the lighting, though. It's very mood lighting. Yeah. Not great sewing lighting in there.
Rock and roll lighting in there.
All right. So everybody loved the boxes. They're so excited. That's great. I don't think we have any more questions. Do you have any more questions? But it says start saving now for next year. It's really worth it. Yes, it is great. And it's fabulous.
Here's a comment.
Both the packing and the unpacking before and after retreat, because there's none.
Here's a comment.
Love virtuals because I don't have to drag anything with me. Exactly. Everything is in my sewing studio. Exactly. And if you need anything, you need something from your stash, it's all there. So it's really, really great. Plus, they don't have like the retreat store right in your face, so which is tempting. One positive. You can plan your meals out, eat from home, so that's a lot less expensive. I don't know. Let's talk about all the great things, but I don't think we have to. So let's move on from retreat to our second update. That is our color club, which all got shipped out Friday thanks to our amazing, amazing staff. They got all that done, even though we had one really late delivery. And so most of you probably are starting to get your color clubs. I know weather has been inclement kind of in many parts of the country, so some things may be delayed, but I am going to wait until Friday to reveal this month's color. It is amazing. It is kind of been one of my favorites for years, and a very unique kind of hue of that color, so it will be fun to reveal it to you. We do have some subscription spots open, available to you if you want to join our club. It's a monthly club. You get 5 beautiful half yards of the themed fabric color of that month. All of them are handpicked by me, and they are, of course, great to use in your stash to mix in with all these other things. You can cancel at any time, so Check it out. Check it out if you want to join us. And if you subscribe now, you will actually receive the March shipment. So the one that everybody's receiving now, if you sign up today, we will ship that to you tomorrow. So you will get that same one. And so if you do it before Friday, you can get the same surprise. Same surprise. Lots of love I'm seeing for Color Club. Debbie says, I painted my kitchen this month's Color Club. Ooh, wow. And hope nobody goes to visit you, Debbie. Can't tell yet. Can't have to wait. So Mary is asking off subject, what bundle would you recommend for Kira? Oh, Kira is very versatile. There's so many different colors and fabrics that could work with Kira. You just need a contrast between either lights and darks or a couple of colors, depending on how scrappy you want it to be. We just made Kira with the date night bundle, which is more neutrals, blacks, grays, taupes, some tans in there. That's beautiful, beautiful. We just talked about it. They talked about it actually on Friday's show and showed the quilt. So you can check that one out. It's turned out beautiful. I love that version. So check that out. So that's it for Color Club. Lots of love for the Color Club. So it would be great to hear from those of you that have been subscribers to Color Club this whole time since we started. It's coming up in June is our 2-year anniversary of Color Club. So our first shipments went out in June of 2021, right? Yeah. June 2021. So it's very exciting and fun to see how well received it is, how some of you have stuck with it because you love it, and how many of you that have been subscribing all this time but use it constantly, which is my idea behind the whole idea behind it, is that those are basics, those are tone on tones, great prints that you can mix into other things. Oh, just wondering, would you do a video on flange binding? Yes, I could do that. Something I've thought about. I used to teach that, I don't know, way back in the day. I taught a class on it probably like 15 years ago. So everything is always new again. So I definitely could do a video on that. That's easy. I do a tip of the day on that. Easy. All right, thank you for that suggestion. I'll remember that. Okay, K-facet. Oh, it's always beautiful. Like I said, anything works. Pick the colors that you like. Make sure there's contrast between the two fabrics that you're going to use for each block, and it's always going to turn out great. If you like the fabrics, if you like the colors, the quilt's going to be great. That's just how it goes. That's why I always talk about whatever bundles we sell, half-yard bundles. If you like the combination of the bundles, there's not just one pattern that goes with that bundle. If you like what fabrics are in the bundle, you're going to like it in most patterns. All right? I know you like suggestions from me, but that's the whole philosophy behind how we sell fabric and how I like to curate those bundles. All right. Moving on from Color Club, which is our monthly subscription, to our Bundle Club. Goody's Bundle Club has now, we've shipped out twice. This is our quarterly club. This is every 3 months we ship out a 12-piece half-yard bundle that has been carefully curated by me every month. And so usually I base it off of a fabric line, and then I put in there some basics to balance it out and really make it unique. And so we are now, it's March, halfway through March, which means we're only a month away from our 3rd ever shipment of Bundle Club, our April shipment. And so it's really exciting. We are putting our final touches on the booklet. So every month you get the bundle along with a booklet that we have put together explaining the fabrics. We, of course, do a fabric pull for it if you want to add to it. We have additional fabrics that we have purchased from the lines to use as the 4 Bs, as we call it. The 4 Bs, you know what the 4 Bs are? Background, borders, bindings, and backings.
Boom.
The 4 Bs. And so we have always purchased extra fabric to carry in our 1 yards and 3 yards for people to incorporate into the quilts. But not only that, in the booklet, we have also taken the extra step and we usually make about 3 to 4 quilts out of those fabrics, photograph them beautifully, and show you exactly how those fabrics would look in a quilt. Different type of patterns. Some are from books, some are from patterns. And so it's just an idea book, inspirational book. And then, of course, there's always a coupon in every booklet, too. But it's, I think everybody is really happy so far with Bundle Club. Those of you that have been subscribers of that since the start. So it's every 3 months, so quarterly for a year. You get that 12-piece bundle. And, of course, again, you don't have to make the quilts that we make. They would look beautiful in anything. So I really love that concept. So countdown is on for next month. We do have just a few spots left. This one is one that sold out right away, and it's kind of stayed sold out. We had some cancel, so there are just a few spots available. If you join it now, you will be sent the Blissful bundle that we had for January, but April is exciting. I always like to have a variety of fabrics in there, so it's not going to be the same look every time. I like to switch it up, change out the colorways, change out like the very feel of the fabric, so that we can kind of appeal to more people. And I always want to push you a little bit, so we're not so stuck in using the same types of fabric, same colors all the time. So this is a great way to do that. I will never use seasonal fabrics in the Bundle Club. The colors may be a little bit seasonal, but that's just natural as we go through the seasons and go through the year. But normally these fabrics can be used year-round. There's nothing seasonal about it. I will never use a Christmas line or anything like that. So just be assured of that. So if you have any questions on Bundle Club as we are counting down and being excited about that, please let us know if you have any questions. $74.95, I believe. $74.95 a month plus shipping. So yeah, I think it's a lot of great value for quarterly for each shipment, per shipment. Let's talk about the quilts. I forgot to do that in the beginning. So I have Bellatrix here over my right shoulder. This one, I posted this on social media last week because it was a scrappy finish, and this is probably my latest real scrappy finish. As you probably know, most of my quilts are scrappy. I like to use a lot of different fabrics in them, at least 12, since we have half-yard bundles of 12. But this one is kind of everything but the kitchen sink. So it's in my latest book. I always try and have one quilt that is really a great stash buster, and this is one of them. So I wanted to bring her out, even though she's a little bit Halloween-y, but I love her anyway. I love her so much.
What fabric
are you using that one? Mm-hmm. So this one came completely out of my drawers, my collection of 2.5 and 1.5 inch strips. So I collect them because all my leftovers I cut up into strips or squares or whatever, 5-inch, 10-inch squares, or 1.5, 2.5, and sometimes 5-inch strips. Because of those, I can cut either into squares or 2.5-inch strips. So I just went in there and pulled up my anything from a white into a light cream, taupes. It's a mix of that, and then some oranges, grays, and blacks. Some of them are Halloween fabrics. Most of them are not. But it's so much fun to do scrappy. It's a great one to just do as a leader and ender, because you can just make strip sets, and then once you have a few strip sets, you make a few blocks, and then you might make some more strip sets in between as you're working on other stuff. So yes, check it out. The other one is Zoe, one of the Zoes we made for the class packs. This one is made from the Birdsong bundle. Love this one, especially because it's a really unique layout. One of the layouts that is in the book, and so I really love this one. Okay. Did Bellatrix's name come from Harry Potter? You know, I love Harry Potter. I love the Harry Potter books. I read them all when they came out. Read them all in Icelandic. But Bellatrix came from two things. Of course, that name popped into my mind because first thing that I noticed with this quilt, first of it was awesome and beautiful and gorgeous. And then second, it really plays a trick on your eye. As you look at it, you start seeing so many different secondary designs and like your eyes just start seeing things. So Bella means beautiful, and then tricks. With all the tricks it plays on your eyes. So that's how it came together. But Bellatrix, of course, popped into my head right away because, yes, Harry Potter fan here. All right. Any questions on, we were talking about Bundle Club. It led to something else. So let's move on from Bundle Club and give you an update on one more thing. I just heard back, from our cruise organizer. Now I'm talking about our actual cruise that is taking place in 2024, January, and then our second cruise was just added for February. And that second cruise is almost full. So if you're still contemplating, she told me today there's 4 spots in the sewing room left. 4 spots. So check it out faster, sooner than later if you want to take advantage of cruising with us through the Caribbean in February next year. So it is an amazing 5 beautiful stops, and so I can't wait. It's been a tough winter for many people in the States, and even like California is just getting pummeled.
Redo.
Huh?
We get to redo this photo.
Okay, we get to redo it.
Yeah.
Oh yes, definitely. We do need to redo this one. Very much needed. We'll try again. All right, so check out that. But of course, let's get to our main segment of Tipsy Tuesday. Tip of the day. Everybody thinks we drink on Tuesdays because of the name, but it's really just for tips. So let's check out our tip of the day. In this video, I'd like to show you my favorite method of making half square triangles. I have a little chart available on my website where it shows you exactly how to cut your squares for this. But the rule is for half square triangles is that you want to cut your 2 squares, the 2 different colors, 1 inch larger than the finished size of the half square triangle it's supposed to be. So you can adjust this to any pattern. Now, as you might know, I like to save some steps and be efficient when I am making anything in quilting. So I eliminate steps that normally are maybe in patterns if I know that if it's not going to matter in the end result. So here I have 2 squares that I'm going to make half square triangles, and many methods tell you to layer the squares. You draw a line corner to corner, and then you have to sew a 1/4 inch from each side, cut it apart, press. But for me, to get the most accurate pieces, I eliminate 3 steps here. So I eliminate having to draw, and then I also eliminate the sewing accurately on each side. This is why we cut our squares just a tad bit larger. And then I use my mini ruler. So this is my Stripology Mini, and I am using the white dotted lines that go out to the edges here. I'm aligning it with the bottom, and therefore I'm aligning the outermost slit corner to corner. So I can just cut these guys apart. So they're layered right sides together, and I can cut them apart right then and there. Take them to my sewing machine. Reason why I lined it up on the slit is because if I just cut it on the edge of a ruler, there's always the chance that you go off. This way, I'm using the last slit so I can place my cutter in the slit and safely cut them apart, and the ruler will hold them both in place. Now, if you're left-handed, you have the same lines on the other side, so you can line up the other side if that makes more sense for you. So now I have my units layered, and I just want to take them straight to my sewing machine and sew. So here's the other step I eliminate, is I don't really have to watch my seam allowance that closely for sewing these together. Yes, I'm sewing together a bias edge, but it really doesn't matter because we're going to square these up in the end. So once they have been sewn together, and now I'm just going to press them, so you will end up with 2 half square triangles, and then you press them towards the dark. And so I also don't have to worry about any distortion when you press, because that sometimes happens. So after you went through all the work of cutting accurate pieces, drawing, sewing on each side, and then pressing, sometimes the pressing will distort your pieces. But you don't have to worry about it because now it's time to square these up. So I cut these at 3.5 inches because they're going to be 2.5 inches in the end. So I am squaring them to 3 inches actually. So for whole inch sizes on triangles, you are going to use the black lines on the ruler. So you have 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have the lines going out here. You have a diagonal line going through the center. So I would be using this black line, 3-inch square, and then a diagonal black line on the seam. And then I just want to make 2 cuts through the 0 and 3. So squaring up to 3, that means the finished size will be 2.5. So I'm just going to show you without using my ruler stickers. Normally I mark my ruler out, but this is easy because it's just from the bottom corner. Now then I turn my square, and now I have this side and this side already trimmed. And so now I know I can align the diagonal line, align the top and the bottom line, and I end up with a perfect half square triangle. And so I limited a bunch of steps, saved myself some time, but I end up with a perfect half square triangle. Now, if you're doing a 1/2 inch increment, you're going to use the white squares. So we have from the center expanding out white squares. So even though this is larger, I'm just going to sew this one or trim this one to a 2.5. So we have that innermost circle here. You want to, whenever I do that, I always want to use my arrow stickers. So first, before I start trimming, because obviously I'm sometimes trimming a lot of them, I like to put my arrow stickers on the corners of the square I'm going to be trimming to. So I have this little square, 2.5 inches. So I place my ruler stickers so they're pointing at those diagonal lines, so it makes it a lot quicker to find those lines. And then I also make sure to put a different color sticker on the actual slits I'm going to be cutting through. And you find that by just bringing your fingers down. It's the 2-inch and the 4.5. So grab a different color. Those are going to be the slits that I'm cutting through. And so that is really going to eliminate any mistakes when I'm doing my trimming, however many half square triangle units you want to do. Now, of course, if you were cutting your original squares based on making a 2.5 inch trimmed square, which makes a 2-inch finished, you would probably cut this smaller, but I just wanted to show you. So aligning that line on the diagonal, the white line, and you'll see that all 4 corners of my square are on the inside. Again, make my 2 cuts, and then turn my unit. Find that diagonal white line again, line it up with my seam, and now I also have lines on the top and bottom to align with my cut edges, and then make the same cuts through the same slits, and then I have my perfect half square triangle. Well, that's the magic of the mini. Now, this was just a demo on the half square triangles. I also use it to make my quarter square triangles, which I will do in a separate tip of the day for you. Very easy, but always know if you want to make half square triangles that are going to finish at 2 inches, cut your squares at 3 inches and follow the same method, just an inch larger than what your finished size is going to be. Finished size, not your trim up size. Finished size, how it's going to end up sewn into the quilt. So, all right, so good one, if you know you're going to be doing half square triangles in a pattern, how much larger do you make the beginning squares? I just explained that. So that's what the little chart is. Go find it, print it out. It will have that, plaster it somewhere. So whenever you're working on whoever's pattern, you can see, go into the pattern and look, oh, I need to make 60 half square triangles that are gonna finish at 3 inches. That means I can just cut some squares at 4 inches, and remember, a background and a colored square will make 2 half square triangles, so you can do the math that way. Do you ever trim your half square triangles while they're still folded in half? I do not, and here's why. Because when we press, there is a chance of distorting it with an iron. So I am also eliminating the time of being really careful when I'm pressing those. I can kind of do it a little bit faster because I don't have to worry about any distortion when I'm pressing, because it's going to get trimmed afterwards. So that's all the steps that I'm eliminating. Number 1, I'm eliminating having to cut your 3 7/8 in squares and just cutting a 4 inch, right? So that's a lot easier. You can do that easily fast with the stripology rulers. Instead of trying to measure an accurate 3 7/8 or 2 3/8 or whatever sizes you're cutting. Second, I'm eliminating drawing the line and then having to be really careful on sewing on each side of the line. And if you're trying to sew with a scant 1/4 inch seam, which you should always do, then you also have to be careful, where is that foot according to that line? How thick is your line? All of those little things. So I don't have to worry about that. And then third, I don't have to worry about distorting anything with my iron. I can just press, and then everything will be trimmed to a perfect size afterwards. There's just a sliver to be trimmed, so you're not really wasting any fabric. So that's all the 3 steps that I save. And yet I hear a lot of folks, I hate having to square up or trim up units, but you know what? You know how beautiful it is when you have those pieces completely accurate when you're making a block. They're completely square, they're so accurate, and they're all the same size. It just makes all the difference. So I will take that step and eliminate all the other ones. You probably still will end up spending about the same time, if not less, and end up with beautiful cut pieces. What about flying geese technique? It's coming. It's coming. We're going to introduce it for our retreaters first, and then I will reveal it to the whole world. Yes, flying geese is coming. And just know the mini ruler, love it. And those that have it probably will tell you the same. They absolutely love it. It's beautiful for small things, little scraps and stuff like that. And then the squared ruler, so the mini only goes up to 6.5 inches. So if you need to do anything larger than that, you can do that with the XL or the squared ruler. So the squared ruler is literally just a larger version of the mini, or the mini is a smaller version of the squared. So that's how they work together. So for larger than 6.5, you will go to the squared or the XL. What exactly is a scant 1/4 inch? We have talked about it so many times. So a scant 1/4 inch just means that your seam needs to be a needle width or 2 less than a 1/4 inch, if you would measure the seam allowance, so that once you have your fabric pressed over, it's a full 1/4 inch when you measure your piece. So I have a whole video on piecing accuracy. If you've not heard about a scant 1/4 inch, please watch it. We talk about it all the time. And there is no such thing as sometimes using a full 1/4 inch and sometimes using a scant 1/4 inch. We really should always use a scant 1/4 inch, so that once you piece your things, it is coming out to the exact size as it should. Because if you use a full 1/4 inch sewing, once you press, your piece is going to be a little bit less than what it should be. And so if you add those up, every seam, it ends up being a 1/4 or a 1/2 inch smaller than what the pattern says it should be. And the best way to find it is to use a seam guide. They're back in stock. We've talked about that many times before, because 1/4 inch feet, even if you have a 1/4 inch foot, you need to measure them because they're all created differently. And if you have a machine that you can just move your needle a little bit, that's the best way. All right. That's what I was saying. Debbie was asking if you're cutting a little bit extra, why is a scant quarter-inch necessary? With my method, you don't need to be as accurate on your scant quarter-inch. That's what I was saying. If you draw a line and then you have to do your seams on each side, then you have to be really, really accurate. Because if you go a little over, then your pieces are going to be too small. If you cut your pieces first accurately, draw and do all that. So that's just what I'm saying. What's the name of the tip sheet you held up for making half square triangles? So if you go to our website, there is a link there that says bonus charts and templates. It is just called a half square triangle and quarter square triangle kind of cheat sheet or something like that. So you can find it on our website. There's not much there, so just scroll through. It's where all of the other charts for the ruler are located. All right. Any other questions? Tip sheet, stripology. Love all the rulers. I'm a firm believer in squaring up. Yes, it's something that I hated doing too. When I started quilting, and you put so much effort into everything and it takes time, so you really don't want to have to do that. But you all know, if you have a perfectly squared up block, when it's time to put the blocks together, sewing the blocks together will take you half as long or less than if your blocks are not completely, fully the same size. So it really is a time saver in the end, and it's gonna have a much better result for you too. All right, great comments on there. I'm gonna kind of continue on this half square triangle, quarter square triangle tips for a while, utilizing the mini to the fullest, and so giving you some extra tips on that. So keep watching that. All right, so next up, I wanted to talk about our Amalie Supersized Quilt Along. It's been a month and a half since we did our last quilt along. It was end of January, and a lot of you have been sharing your quilts lately, and I always said when we shared the quilts right after the quilt along that we would do another slideshow later. I think it's time to share some more supersized Amalie quilts, and so I know there are still some out there, so please keep sharing them. They're also beautiful, also different. So let's take a look at a small little slideshow of some awesome Amalie supersized quilts. Bravo, bravo. Thank you, everybody that keeps sharing your quilts and all of you that participated in that wonderful full day quilt along. That was a fun, fun day, wasn't it?
So fun.
Yeah, time flies. Somebody said, I can't believe it's that long since it was a month and a half.
Wow.
And we're like halfway through March already. I feel like time is just flying by faster and faster every year that I have on this earth. I don't know where it's going to end up. Yikes. I have so much I want to do every day, and the day just goes on. And it actually happened today. I lost an hour.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I was just leisurely. I looked at the clock. I'm like, oh, I got a full hour until the show. So I went and washed my hair. As you can see, it's just a little bit wet still. And then he comes running down. Hey, we're live in 15 minutes. So yeah, I don't know what I was looking at. I don't know what clock I was looking at. I'm all messed up. I mean, we had, of course, the daylight savings starting
Don't blame
Sunday.
it on that.
I'm gonna try blame it on that because I don't know where my brain went. I just have so many things I want to get done in a day. I don't know. So next time I will have my hair not wet. Promise. I promise.
You told on yourself. People didn't even know. Hey.
That's all right. I love telling on myself. But I wanted to talk about this quilt along because we have another one coming up, our strip along. Now, it's not a full day quilt along like Amalie Supersized was. It is something I've been doing for 6 years. This will be the 7th annual strip along. Yeah, that's
Wow.
pretty amazing. So this is where I take an older strip pattern. I usually play with it a little bit, give you some other options, at least do it in a completely different colorway than the original pattern cover was. And we do this during Tipsy Tuesday. So we take 4 parts, depending on what the pattern is. And so I will take you through all the steps during a Tipsy Tuesday. But I thought it would be fun to kind of look at, so yes, there is one coming in April. But we're not going to announce the dates quite yet. You will hear about them real soon, real soon. But let's take a look at our first strip along was Strip Maze. And I don't even know if I have a photo of the quilt that I made during the strip along. It was really cool. It was all reds and grays and whites, and I think I donated it. I know that I donated it, so I don't know if I took a picture. I honestly don't. I have to go look. But that was our first one. It was very fun. And then our second was Strip Down. So these two patterns are, I don't want to say older than dirt, but they're oldies, but they're great. And I donated also the one. So I always go into my strip-ins and make a completely different colorized quilt. For both of those. Strip Down was fun because it had a bonus pattern that you can do with the little scraps left over. And so then we had 2019 was our third one. That was Strip in the Box. And that one I still have. And I think, I don't have it here though, but I have to dig that one out at some point. I know I still have that quilt that I made. I did it with a gray background. I don't have this version because I donated this one. This is the one on the cover of the pattern, but I have the other one. Then 2020, a lot of you may have taken part in this one, Strip to Shore. And for Strip to Shore, I gave you a couple of different layout options. I did a spaced version and one that you don't have the two, like the, what should I call it, hexagon in 4 parts. You only had 2 parts. So that was really a fun one. A lot of you did that one. It was a little bit more time consuming because it is, as you can see, smaller pieces and working with half hexagons. And so then 2021, we did Strip Joints. Now, Strip Joints, we still have, because I made that one for you, honey. I did a black and green one.
Oh, yes.
And so that one was supposed to hang in your studio.
It did.
And we hung it for a minute and then we sold the house.
Right.
So it's now just waiting for a new studio, right?
Waiting for the new place to hang.
Yeah, waiting for a new studio. And so then 2022, last year, we did Striptease. And I came out with a pattern Striptease 2.0 to put a little twist on it, which included both versions, which is a PDF pattern because it included the original version and then the new version. So very cool, very fun kind of graphic strip quilt. So this is based on 2.5-inch strips. The patterns are always 2.5-inch strips. And so this is based on the idea I still have drawers of strips that I've been collecting through years. I cut my leftovers and I fill up those drawers. I use it all the time. So I always challenge myself to work, at least make one version of the quilt from my drawers. I might make two. Yeah, I might make two. So this is coming. It's coming. I'm not going to tell you what the pattern is chosen for 2023, but you will hear about it real soon. But so just get ready. If you got some scraps, if you got some little leftovers,
What's the name?
start chopping up the 2.5 into 2.5-inch strips. Strip. Not going to tell you.
Stripalicious.
It's fun. It's really fun. It's always going to be great tips. I'm always going to show you different ways of doing things because all those patterns came out years ago prior to the stripology ruler. So we're going to stripologize them all. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Are you going to be participating?
I definitely will.
You going to be stripping along?
I will be scripping.
Okay. All right. You heard it. He's going to be scripping along. Okay, any questions? Well, they can't ask questions. They're all going to ask, what is the pattern going to be?
Yes, that's
and when is it going to start? And all of that. But we will tell you. We will tell you later. You'll have plenty of time to prepare. Don't worry. Don't worry. We got retreat coming up, so we're going to be quite busy. And those of you that are participating are going to be quite busy.
Someone hopes to use a jelly roll.
Oh, you can use a jelly roll. Jelly roll is 2.5-inch strips, so definitely use those up. Use those up. All right, so I have wanted to show you some things because a couple of posts we've been posting every day, following the prompts on Instagram. Quilt Fest, IG Quilt Fest 2023. It has prompts every day for you to post something, and I thought it would be really fun to kind of all of the quilters at GE to share tips and things instead of you always hearing about me. And a couple of the prompts in the last week got a lot of questions, and because I was on my trip but wasn't able to kind of elaborate and show you, one of them was for fabric storage. And I've shown you my fabric storage many times, how I store my strips, how I store my 10-inch squares and 5-inch squares, and just my stash as far as half yards and more than half yards. That is all back in Minnesota. Now, I did not have a stash here at Studio B, and fabric has been piling up a little bit because when I get sent fabric, if I bring fabric, I don't always send it back because I need to have a collection. And so I ordered myself a little cabinet that's going to sit here that has space for it. And then I wanted to have some kind of system how I would store the fabrics in there. And I found these really great bins at Target to the rescue all the time. And they're clear. And so I just wanted to show you because I wasn't able to show you on camera. They're from Bright Room, the Bright Room brand. They are loaded up. So I have a lot of the 1 yards from GE, so they fit in here perfectly. These are, the size is 12 by 12 by 8. So 8 is the depth, and they're 12 by 12 square. Let me show you. Yeah, it's heavy because, you know, it's filled up. There's a lot of fabric in there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's probably 39 yards of fabric in here. And so they fit perfectly for the half yards. What I love too is that they stack up and they nest together. So they don't have a lid, but they stack up so you can put the second one on. And so that's why I love for when my cabinet gets assembled. Hello, sir.
I know a guy.
You know, guy. You got a guy? Okay, good. So that's what I love. But the other thing, I know I'm going to be also having a lot of bundles. So our bundles fit in here perfectly as well. So I can have them aligned up in here, either like this or lay them flat too, because then I can stack. But I think they fit in here too, even not stacked, and you can still doesn't go over the top. So I'm excited about building my stash here with these bins, and gonna kind of use the coloring for the 1 yards, and so I'll have an assortment of bundles and 1 yards here at least, and then we got to figure out the rest of it. But so far so good. I always want to share good ideas for storage. The second one was about works in progress, so WIPs, WIP, which is short for work in progress. So if you have multiple projects going on, how do you store them? How do you keep them organized? I know back in the day, I used to do this all the time, and it would just be a stack here and a stack there, or I would put it in some kind of pouch that would be closed and then sealed forever, and then I would find it years later. Oh, I forgot about that project, stuffed in a drawer somewhere. But I honestly, I have to have a lot of things going on at one time because they're in stages because of my job. But there's always been this guilt. There's always been this guilt behind having many projects going on. You start one and you don't finish it and you start another one. Well, it's okay. I don't know where this guilt comes from, if it comes from ourselves or some people that are acting like they're some kind of quilt police, but there is no quilt police. So I say, ignore that. Let's remove the guilt. It's okay to have certain things going on, because if it's a quilt that's going to take a while, for example, if you're going to make a Bellatrix and you want to take some time doing it. So if you're working from scraps or whatever, you can take your time doing it. So how I organize my things that I have going on in stages, same thing. I kind of showed you guys this, some of you, when we started our Strolling Paris, or Christmas in Europe, because one block a month, how do you keep all the fabric ready and the blocks that are finished and all the scraps? So again, Target again. So these baskets I love because I can stack them up. And so every basket has projects that are in parts, and then, you know, some have ideas, others have projects that are in parts.
What was the other baskets called?
The other baskets, they're a Bright Room brand, and from Target too, and they're clear, and they're really sturdy, clear plastic. They really are sturdy, so they're kind of heavier. Now these are much more flexible, and very, very light. They're very light, and what I love about them, they're about less than 6 inches tall. They're somewhere around 9 inches by less than 12, almost 11 something. So the good thing is that, you know, a page that you print out of a pattern or a book can fit in here. So if I'm working from a book, I can leave the book in here, all the parts. When I was working on, we were working on a block of the month, all the scraps. So I had 2 bins going on for Christmas in Europe. I had one that had my finished stuff and the fabrics that I hadn't cut into, all my scraps that I can use along the way. I had in another bin, and then they just stacked up, and they don't take that much space. So I can put them on a shelf, you can put them in a cabinet, but then they're ready to go. And you could even, if you wanted to be extra organized, you can hang a little tag on them or put some stickers on here that explain which one is which. But I really love that. These are a little bit different brands, but they still work. I think I got them also at Target.
Is there any labels on those?
Yeah, maybe. Yep, this is Room Essentials. That's a Target brand, I know that. And so it doesn't say the exact size. Room Essentials. This I may have gotten somewhere else. Maybe gotten it at, no, it's also Target. But these are 13 by 11 by 5 1/4. So these are a little bit, they're just a little bit wider than these. These I probably got, before that, but these all fit together really great. So I love these things, and they're not that expensive at all. So we use them a lot at GE for a lot of different things, and so we have a lot of them, and I can't live without them. This is something that I have stacked up. And once you stack them up, multiples, this is 5 here, they don't take that much space. If you have a container that has a lid and it's not full, they take up a little bit more space because you're storing air. This way I'm not really storing air. It's all about space saving around here. We don't have that much space.
Target, here they come.
Target, yes, I tell you. But a lot of people told me they have very similar ones at like the dollar store. So check it out if you're in Europe. There are some saving stores there. Iceland, Rúmfatalagurinn. Yeah. So check it out. I love all kinds of bins like that because it keeps it all together too. It just keeps it all together. You don't lose pieces as easily. But that's my organizing secrets. Target. Target. All right. So any questions on any of this stuff? I wanted to, before we end today, Colleen will be back tomorrow with One Yard Wednesday, Deal of the Week. So check out her show. It airs at 9:30 a.m. So last week's offering cleaned out really fast. It was obviously a hit. So we have limited quantities. So once it's gone, it's gone. So check it out. All you have to do is go to our website and go to shop. And there's a One Yard Wednesday page, which has all the 1 yards from previous shows that we still have in stock. It will have the latest show there, a link to the latest show to watch. But if you catch it live, try and do that. And you know what? There's no limit on how many of each you can purchase. It's just first come, first serve. And then if you are a part of our rewards program, or GE FAMs, you get points for that. Even though the fabrics are drop dead prices, $7.99 a yard for beautiful quilt shop quality, fairly new fabrics. But make sure you check it out because you get points as well, 5%. So that is, and then this is our 4-show week. This happens once a month. We have 4 shows this week. Thursday morning, it's Perfect Pair time. Nancy and Kara will be back with their monthly show, third Thursdays. Perfect Pair, it's at 9:30 a.m. as well. It's all times are Central Time. And tomorrow, on Thursday, they'll be talking about bags. So I'm excited to see that. So make sure you catch them too. And so before we end tonight, we are going to give you the giveaway question. And there's one more thing we're going to have to let you know about. But first, let's give you the giveaway question so that all you need to do is answer that in the comments. You're entered to win a $25 gift card. What is the last movie you watched? Now, I don't normally have much time to watch movies. We try to watch movies, late at night, and then it's night time on the couch.
Good sleeper.
Yes, but I just watched a couple of movies on the plane. Yeah. And that was
time to watch a movie?
One each way.
Awesome.
I finally watched the movie that I read the book years ago.
Wasn't that good?
When I have to remember stuff live, it was not written down.
I think the question should be, what was the last good movie you've seen?
It was pretty good. And then I watched Woman King on the way back. And that was good. So. I started Wakanda Forever. I didn't finish it.
I don't remember the movie I watched. It wasn't that good.
No, I was looking over on your screen and it was weird.
It's a horror movie.
I was like, what is going on over there?
I need a good scary movie.
But all you got to do is answer the question. Doesn't matter if the movie was good or bad, or if you made it through the whole thing. What was your last movie? And tell us in the comments. And then we will be live Tipsy Tuesday show. We will announce the winner next week. That is March 21st. March 21st, 4 p.m. Central. And then our Friday show this Friday. You want to show up for it, but not only because we're going to be revealing Color Club, color of the month. It's St. Patrick's Day, March 17th at 12 p.m. Central. But that's not all.
What?
There will be another announcement that you do not want to miss. Yes, a special announcement you do not want to miss. This Friday, 12 p.m. Central Time. Come join us on St. Patrick's Day. It's going to be great. I can't wait to share.
Oh my God.
Oh God, we're going to share a secret. Ah! That's it for us today. Come see us on Friday. But first, check out Colleen tomorrow morning, Nancy and Kara on Thursday morning. And then we'll see you bright-eyed and bushy-tailed on Friday. Put your green on. Everybody put your green on Friday. All right?
Green on.
Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you real soon. Bye.